Yo, what is going on, Guardians, and welcome back to another Destiny gameplay video. Hey, in this video I really just wanted to talk about the art of disengaging. So basically, when you get into these scenarios in the game where it is your best option to leave the engagement, to leave the fight that you're currently in, and find a better way to engage, basically. So this is a regular part of my repertoire. I would highly suggest that if it's not part of yours, or if it's a small part of yours, enhance it, get better at it, because it will dramatically change the way you play the game. Not just this game, but other shooters as well, other PvP oriented games, and it'll basically it will help you enjoy PvP better as well, because you'll be dying less, which is kind of a big deal in shooters. So basically, there are a number of scenarios where disengaging is your best option. Scenarios like where you're hurt, scenarios where you push around a corner or through a choke point and you see numbers, like it's you and 3 other guys in front of you, and you're like, well, this is probably not going to end well for me, right? There are scenarios like that, or maybe scenarios where you just don't have the advantage. Maybe you find yourself engaged with someone in a long-range gunfight and you've got a hand cannon and a shotgun equipped, and you just know that if you stick this engagement out as it is, then you're going to have a tough time coming out on top. You're probably going to lose the engagement. There are a number of different scenarios where it's just best to pull out. So, one of the things I would talk about when you find yourself in those situations, one thing that you have to keep in mind is grenade avoidance. So, a lot of times when you get hurt and you duck for cover, right? Maybe you're sort of trapped behind a box because you don't want to peek out because you know you're absolute. If you peek out, you're going to get shot, you're going to die. Well, on the other side of that is your opponent. And they know that they hurt you, and they know that you have very little health, and they know now that you're trapped behind cover trying to regenerate your health. Well, what's the best way they can finish you off in that scenario? Throw a grenade. Grenades are extremely powerful in Destiny, at least in Destiny 1, and they are designed to inflict a lot of damage to people who are often behind covers. Things like spike grenades, lightning grenades, incendiary grenades, all kinds of grenades, scatter grenades, axion bolt seekers. I mean, most grenades in the game, besides stickies, are designed to hit you behind cover without the aggressor exposing themselves. So you have to have a game plan for grenade avoidance. If you get hurt, one of the things that I do a lot is, if I get hurt, I will get to cover, wait just a second, maybe 2 maximum, and then dip as fast as you can, because you want to catch them in their grenade throw animation, because they can't shoot you while they're in that whole animation of throwing the grenade, and then there's the time it takes them to ready their weapon again. That is your window of escape. Give them a second to decide, I'm going to throw a grenade, and then you bail, so that as they do their animation, you're now moving out of cover, through their line of sight, and into another place to cover. They're now out of grenade, and you have the opportunity to regenerate your health. So grenade avoidance is a big part of disengaging successfully from an engagement that you don't want to be a part of anymore. Another huge, absolutely huge part of successfully disengaging from fights is running routes correctly. So there are do's and don'ts. So if you want to get away from an engagement, you just don't like the way that it's looking, and you want to bug out, there are do's and don'ts. Here are your don'ts. Don't run in a straight line. Just don't do it. It's a horrible decision. You are so easy to hit when you're moving in a straight line. If you're trying to get away from an opponent, running a straight line makes you an easy target. You're very easy to hit. All the weapons in the game can make short work of anything moving in a straight line. So, fusion rifles especially, they're going to land all their projectiles on you and kill you. Sniper shot is really easy to line up on a guy moving in a straight line. Pulse rifle burst, you're going to land all your bullets on a straight line opponent. Don't run in a straight line. It's a really bad idea. You're super easy to hit. You have to break up your movement. The other thing I would say is a don't when it comes to disengaging and you're running your route. Don't go high. Going high makes you very vulnerable, because you've now made yourself visible to other opponents on the map. When you go high and you're trying to get away, you basically expose yourself to unnecessary sightlines for other people. So just don't do it. Don't go high, don't run in straight lines when you're running your routes to get out of an engagement. Very bad thing to do. What are the do's? Well, you want choppy movement. You want to stay low as well, as much as possible. You want to think 100%. You want to think about sight lines. So who can see me from where, right? So you want to zigzag, chop up your movement, go from cover to cover to cover to cover, staying low on the map. There are very few exceptions where you want to go high. Sometimes it's the right thing to do, but generally speaking, you want to stay low. It's very situational. Going high is very, very situational. So for the most part, you just don't want to do it. So think about sight lines, go low, choppy movement. Those are the three big things that you're going to want to do. Now, every character has really good ways of disengaging. If you are a warlock, you want to learn how to bunny hop correctly so that you can maximize your speed and kind of boost in and out of cover as you need to. If you are a Titan, obviously Titan skating is the best way to get away. You go really fast from cover to cover. It's a really great way of getting away. If you're a hunter, you got a lot of options. Shade step is fantastic, but if you're not playing on a Night Stalker, those directional change jumps are huge. For people trying to shoot you, if you change directions mid-air, you're going to be really, really hard to hit, especially consecutive shots. So every single class and subclass has a great way of kind of dipping in and out of cover and maximizing your potential of surviving. So definitely take advantage of those things. If you don't know how to Titan skate, you don't know how to bunny hop, or you're not really good with the hunter movement, there's lots of tutorials online, lots of videos, lots of players for you to watch and see how they do it, and you'll pick up a few things and just kind of make that a goal of yours to get better at. So moving on, disengaging isn't always about being defensive and running away. It's not always about that. Sometimes you can disengage offensively, is what I'm saying. So there's a couple scenarios in the gameplay here where what I do is I throw a grenade through a choke point, and maybe I prime somebody up, I do a little bit of damage. But then after I've shown myself on that side of the choke point, I've done some damage, now they're focusing on that choke point. They're hurt. They know that they got to kill you as you come through that choke point. So what do? You take the long way around. You do that route as quickly as possible. You disengage, you run a different route, you come up and you pinch from behind. Sometimes they'll see it coming, sometimes they won't. But either way, it's just a different way of engaging. And sometimes it's a great way of avoiding choke points, which make you an easy target. And then you approach from something that has a little bit more space, so they don't know exactly where you're going to peek. So it's just a good option to start doing stuff like that, where you disengage offensively. Your goal here is to still inflict damage, but avoid damage at the same time. So you can disengage offensively, absolutely. Another thing I would tell you is when you are disengaging, when you are leaving an engagement, oftentimes, people don't want you to get away. That's just the nature of it. I know, obvious statement is obvious, but I'm going somewhere with this. You have to learn how to punish pursuers. So, if someone decides to give chase, here's what you do. Very first thing you have to be aware of is, do I have a grenade cooldown? Grenades are a great way of keeping pursuers at bay. Sometimes it's not, you don't throw the grenade necessarily to kill them or to do damage to them. You throw the grenade to zone off their route to chase you. Your goal here is basically just to keep them from chasing you down so that you don't have to take damage. So you throw the grenade in their route, but you have to put it in a place where it's definitely going to zone off their pursuit. So it has to be a doorway, a hallway, a choke point of some kind, so that they can't just run around it, right? So you definitely want to put it in a place that's going to deter them from pursuing, and if they choose to pursue, then they're definitely going to take damage if they do, making them a little bit easier target for you. Does that make sense? So you have to learn how to punish pursuers. So you can do that with grenades, you can do that with melee abilities, you can do that with special weapons. Sometimes with no health, if you get around a door and all you have to do is just jump up and sort of hover, or do a nice double jump just to stay up above that door, wait for them to come through, and then punish them with a shotgun or a sidearm, right? When they come through, you can do that. And you can just pull the trigger a couple of times and then throw a melee at them and really punish them for pursuing you. So you have to learn how to punish your pursuers. So this is sort of my blanket advice for how to master the art of disengaging. These are all the things that you have to keep in mind. I know that it's a lot of information, I know that it's a lot to take in, and I know that it's a lot to try and be mindful of in the moment, but the more you try to be intentional about it, and the more you sort of practice it, the more you think about it in game, then the more regular it's going to feel, and the more natural it's going to be, and the more you're going to find yourself doing it without thinking about it. It's just going to be a reaction, and that's going to dramatically change the way that you play the game. It's going to dramatically change how much enjoyment you get out of the game, because you're going to be dying a lot less. You're going to be juking people out a lot more. You're going to have these scenarios where you just outplay the crap out of somebody who's trying to get a beat on you, and you're just going to giggle about it because it's just so, it's just fun, you know, it's just fun. So I highly, highly recommend that you start thinking about disengaging in the Crucible. You know, a lot of people, their biggest weakness is that they see red on the radar, so they go. I mean, they go towards the red. That's not always the best bet. Sometimes the red will come to you. Sometimes you just gotta bug out and find a better direction to approach that red from, you know what I'm saying? So definitely, I would highly encourage you, keep this in mind. Try to make this a regular part of your repertoire. I appreciate y'all for watching the video, and I hope that you enjoyed the gameplay and the commentary. Hopefully you picked up a thing or two, because that's the whole goal here. We definitely, this channel, we really just want people to enjoy the game more, and part of that means learning to play the game better. The better you are at a game, the more you're going to enjoy it. If you suck at a game, you're probably not going to have too much fun. So hope you learned a thing or two, and I appreciate you watching, guys. I will catch you, hopefully, ideally, in the Crucible.